Imagine yourself waking up to a new day, the sun slowly peeking over the horizon. In this moment, the world is full of potential, full of promise, and full of opportunity. But here's the key thing to understand. This day, just like every other day, will be shaped by the choices you make. Every moment you're given is an opportunity to take control of your life, to step forward into a better version of yourself. And you have to ask yourself, what am I going to do with it? The truth is, most people let their days drift by without thought. They move through their routines on autopilot, waiting for something to change without realizing that change comes from within. You see, life doesn't hand out second chances. It doesn't offer guarantees. What it offers is a gift, the gift of choice, every single day. And the power to shape that choice, it's entirely in your hands. But making that choice is where it gets tough, right? Because the path forward isn't always clear. It isn't always easy. There are challenges, setbacks, and obstacles that you never saw coming. And some days, it feels like you're just running in place, like nothing you do is making a difference. Those are the days that test you. They push you to your limits, and sometimes they make you wonder, is it even worth it? But let me tell you something important. It's on those days that you build your future. When the going gets tough, that's when most people quit. That's when they turn around and say, it's too hard, I can't do it. But you're not most people. You're someone who knows deep down that the struggle is what makes you stronger. The grind is what builds your character, your resilience, your greatness. You see, success isn't about taking giant leaps overnight. It's about the small, consistent steps you take every single day. It's the unglamorous work when no one's around to applaud you. It's the early mornings, the late nights, the decisions you make when no one is there to hold you accountable. That's where true success is built. Every great achievement you see, the athletes who stand on the podium, the entrepreneurs who build empires, the artists who touch millions of hearts, none of them got there by accident. They didn't wake up one day and find themselves at the top. What you don't see is the countless hours they spent honing their craft, the sacrifices they made along the way, the failures they endured. And yes, they failed. A lot. But each time they failed, they got back up, because they knew that failure wasn't the end. It was just another step in their journey. Think about it. When a baby learns to walk, they stumble and fall, over and over again. But they don't quit, do they? They keep trying, keep pushing, and before long, they're running. The same principle applies to you. Every time you fall, every time you fail, you're one step closer to your goal. Failure is not the enemy. Quitting is. One of the most powerful things you can do is shift your mindset. Don't see failure as something to fear. See it as a teacher. Every time you fail, you're gaining valuable lessons. You're learning what doesn't work. And in that process, you're getting closer to what does work. Let's talk about mindset for a moment. Your mindset is the lens through which you see the world. It's the filter that affects every decision you make. If you have a fixed mindset, you'll believe that your abilities are set in stone, that you either have what it takes or you don't. And when things get hard, you'll tell yourself, this is beyond me. I'm not good enough. I can't do this. But with a growth mindset, everything changes. You begin to see challenges as opportunities. You realize that with effort, you can grow, improve, and become better than you were yesterday. A growth mindset says, I may not know how to do this yet, but I will learn. I will keep trying. I will get better. And that's the mindset that separates those who achieve their dreams from those who simply dream. You have to believe that you are capable of growth. You have to believe that with enough persistence, anything is possible. And I know that sounds like something you've heard 100 times before, but think about it. The people who achieve extraordinary things in life, they weren't born extraordinary. They made a decision. They decided that they weren't going to let their circumstances define them. They weren't going to let failure stop them. They weren't going to let doubt control them. They decided to act, and that's all you need to do. Make a decision today that no matter how hard it gets, no matter how many times you stumble, you will keep moving forward. Because progress isn't always obvious in the moment. Sometimes it feels like you're putting in all this effort and seeing no results. But understand this, growth happens beneath the surface. It's like planting a seed. You water it, you give it sunlight, and for days, weeks, maybe even months, you see nothing. But one day, That seed breaks through the soil, and you realize all the growth was happening where you couldn't see it. Your efforts are like that. They're working. Even if you can't see the results right now, they're happening. And let's talk about discipline, because the truth is, you won't always feel motivated. Motivation is fleeting. It's there one day and gone the next. You might wake up some mornings ready to take on the world, full of energy, full of excitement, but there will be other mornings, more mornings, where you wake up tired, drained, unsure. That's where discipline comes in. Discipline is what gets you out of bed when motivation has deserted you. Discipline is what makes you lace up your shoes and go for that run when you'd rather stay under the covers. Discipline is what drives you to keep working on your craft when all you want to do is give up. People often ask, how do I stay motivated? But the better question is, how do I stay disciplined? Because discipline will carry you through when motivation fails. Discipline is the bridge between your goals and your results. But discipline isn't something you're born with. It's something you build, brick by brick, action by action, habit by habit. The more you practice discipline, the stronger it becomes. And soon, what once seemed impossible becomes part of your routine. You don't have to think about it anymore. You just do it. Now let's get real for a moment. It's easy to talk about discipline and hard work and staying consistent. But I know that life gets messy. There are days when it feels like everything is stacked against you. Days when it feels like no matter how hard you try, you're not making any progress. You're tired, you're frustrated, you're doubting yourself. On those days, I want you to remember why you started. Remember what you're working toward. Remember that the struggle is part of the journey. Success is not about never struggling. It's about how you respond to the struggle. It's about getting up when you've been knocked down. It's about pushing through when every part of you is telling you to stop. In those moments, you have to dig deep. You have to remind yourself that nothing worth having comes easy. That the person you're becoming in the process is worth the fight. Because it's not just about the goal at the end, it's about who you become on the way there. Every challenge, every setback, every moment of doubt, it's shaping you into a stronger, wiser, more resilient version of yourself. And don't get me wrong, it's okay to feel tired. It's okay to feel frustrated. It's okay to feel like you're not where you want to be yet. But it's not okay to give up. It's not okay to throw in the towel and say, this is too hard, because you're stronger than that. You're capable of more than you realize. Remember, you don't have to be the best today. You don't have to have it all figured out. You just have to be better than you were yesterday. Just 1% better. That's it. And over time, those small improvements add up to something incredible. That's the secret. That's the key to success. Consistent, incremental growth. So, take that first step today. Maybe it's a small step. Maybe it's just waking up 10 minutes earlier to plan your day. Maybe it's going to the gym, even when you don't feel like it. Maybe it's spending an extra hour working on your craft. Whatever it is, take that step, and then take another, and another. Before you know it, you'll have built a momentum that's unstoppable. You have so much potential, but potential means nothing without action. So, act. Start today. Because the life you want, the person you want to become, is waiting for you on the other side of your effort. You have what it takes. You just need to believe it and act on it. You've got this. Keep moving forward.